So the game is about to change for everyone, if it hasn't already. And in 2026, 50% of coaches and online businesses will go the same way as dinosaurs, extinct. And our job and my job and what we do with Seven Figure Scaling Systems is to make sure you are on the 50% of coaches and creators who are winning with their online business. And it is easier than ever to scale, but most people just don't know how or are too ignorant or potentially arrogant to actually change their ways because the game is changing fast. And there's 3 key systems you need to know and you need to execute and implement that are going to allow you to do this. And we're going to teach these in person at our Dubai Mastermind event, which is the 14th and 15th of November here at the Hilton in the Palm. We also got the biggest super yacht we can hire on the second day. It's going to be baller. We've got Jordan Lee, who's a friend of mine, does $6 million a month in the AI industry. They've got a sales team over 100. And we're going to be revealing all the secrets of specifically how to do that. So if you haven't got a ticket already, head over to my main Instagram account, hit the link. There's a link there where you can book and buy a ticket. We also have a couple of VIP seats left for the dinner and some coaching sessions with me, which is also included. Now, what are the 3 systems you need? What are the 3 things that can drive profit and allow you to 10x faster than ever in 2026? Number 1, it's probably the elephant in the room. You probably know what this one is. What is it? It is AI, artificial intelligence. The ability and how rapidly AI is changing is insane. I was just in the gym this morning with a good friend of mine. He's the number 1 coach in Spain. And he showed and taught me some stuff, which is sick, which we're implementing and executing straight away, which is actually how you can basically create pretty much perfect content using AI instantaneously. You can do this from paid ads, you can do this with organic content. Essentially, we can kind of replace me having to do this podcast right now in many instances. Maybe this isn't real. If you think it's not real, drop it in the comments below. Now, why is AI so powerful? Right now, my personal opinion is what is most useful for is analyzing data, because I can get huge amounts of data and get the exact answers and details that are non-biased to my own personal opinions or someone else's personal opinions. A good example of that would be, for example, using sales call transcripts, having them analyzed for marketing data to create propaganda to get clients to buy. You can then also, which is what we teach our clients, use personality tests, include that within the marketing. So what happens? Have you ever listened or read something and thought, I feel like they're reading my mind? This is literally what happens when you use these techniques, because you are literally reading people's mind. And this is where I use the word propaganda, not marketing, because the goal of what we want in great marketing is great propaganda. So that would be one big use. Second is going to be from the actual automation side on the back end. You can do more faster than ever before. Your team should be declining. And essentially what you should look at is that you will be able to you'll be like superhuman, essentially. My goal is always kind of to be superhuman. But you can now do so much so quickly. From a marketing perspective, it is insane. So instead of having a marketing team of 10, it can pretty much just be you with some AI, couple of prompts, GPTs, and off you go, and you're rocking and rolling. But you just need to know how. And the coaches are going to win in 2026, and once you do that, but they also stay ahead of what's happening with all the changes with AI. This is like the ultimate unfair advantage. And it really reminds me back to 2016 to 2018 when I saw social media, what was happening then. I realized I could post online for free and then I'd get traffic and I could sell something. I was like, well, this is kind of a no-brainer. Like, what could I do? What could I sell? I was like, okay, cool. I used to be a personal trainer. I'm really into fitness. I'm in good shape. This is probably a good idea. And then here we are 7 years later. And then this is the reality you have to understand. This is the next big window of opportunity, and this is the biggest gold rush you are ever going to see. But I warn you on this, and I have said this to multiple people, including a good friend of mine last week. There will be so many people who will lose their current jobs. For example, if you are a lorry driver, truck driver, taxi driver, gone. 2 years' time, that industry is gone. So if you are not all in on your online business right now, guess what? You have no other choice. You need to jump in with 2 feet because this is like the last chance window. When it comes to AI, the other warning I'd have for people is actually making people more stupid, because people don't actually losing the ability to think for themselves and have cognitive horsepower. The problem that happens is that people rely too much on AI and they're almost delegating their thinking. Now, if you think about the most successful people in the world, the most powerful people in the world, the biggest successes you've maybe had in your life, what have they come down to? A thought, your ability to think. Now, yes, AI can do a lot of these things for you. And we do teach clients to create something called a second brain using AI. But the reality is you still have to have the brain power to understand what good looks like and what's not good. I'll give a good example. Actually, shout out to him. So a friend of mine, Ryan Fisher, messaged me this morning about scaling his coaching business. And he very, very successful business. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. And he's like, have you ever seen anyone sell a course that's $997 just direct to buy that someone could buy for getting in shape? I was like, no, absolutely fucking not. Like, that would just tank. He's like, well, AI keeps pushing me to do this. I was like, this is a good example in terms of AI doesn't have context or doesn't necessarily understand the industries as a whole. It can give carte blanche information, but if I have 7-8 years industry experience, specifically scaling fitness businesses, and I've never seen anyone get that to work, what is the likelihood that despite ChatGPT thinks it's a good idea that it's going to work? Probably not. And this is where context is a huge thing, and also why coaching will never completely die out, because of two things. One, it doesn't have context, backstory, or necessarily like life experience. Secondly, is people buy from people, and people want accountability. So, which is why one of the things we'll come on to later this, you need to position yourself as a premium brand, not bargain bucket, which is what a lot of people are essentially doing. Now I'm not going to sound like Stephen Bartlett, but I know a lot of people coming onto our podcast and who are not subscribing but still enjoying the content. If I have one small ask from you, it's please hit the subscribe button. It'll help us a lot. The biggest thing I'd say from AI is just kind of pick the tool you want to use. So I personally use ChatGPT and a couple of other tools. Some people like Claude. Whichever LLM, like live language model you like is fine. Just choose one, put as much data in as possible, stick to it, and make sure you have the right prompts. If you want an example in terms of the prompts you should be using, shoot me a message on Instagram with AI prompts, and I'll just send you over a document with a load of the ones we use that absolutely crush. The second thing I'm going to come on to, after briefly coming over AI, is to counter the problem that AI has, which is going to be skepticism. So there's going to be a massive, massive, massive wave of content coming online, which is AI generated. You will be seeing content right now that's made by AI and you won't even realize it. You might see women online who think she's hot, and guess what? She's not even fucking real, which is kind of wild. It's a bit like anyone's been to Thailand and you see there's a ladyboy and she's like, I'm not sure if she's attractive, but she kind of is. Like, my brain doesn't quite understand. It's kind of a similar thing. There's a weird side note. But when you think about how to combat this, you need to reduce skepticism. So the best way to reduce skepticism is long form content. Things like this in terms of podcast, me talking about ladyboys, maybe not that one. But the reality is the more you kind of pull people in with these types of things, the more people buy into you as a personal brand. Now, it's more important than ever that you do this. Why? Because if people see huge amounts of content coming online and it's getting blasted around, it's all AI, what it's going to give something credibility? The face of the person on it. So if you have some authority in what you do and have some brand around you, guess what? AI can work for you. If you're any Tom, Dick and Harry and you haven't even started your business yet, in 12 to 18 months, you're really, really going to struggle. So you need to go all in on this now. Now, what type of long form content should you be making? Is this hard? How complex does this need to be? With the first segment of the video we talked about with AI systems, you can use AI to create very easy to make YouTube videos that can pop off. It's very easy to do YouTube research. We have a set framework we just started using. I actually just spoke to our head of creative before this. It's very, very simple to then execute. It's not rocket science. The biggest thing most people do with YouTube is they just don't try, or long form content, they don't try. A podcast is one of the most valuable things you can do, also not from a front end client acquisition system, but also a client retention system, because a lot of your clients will listen to this. And if, for example, you're a client of mine who listens to this, drop it below. It'd be great to hear that. And I remember with our fitness business, I was actually looking at the stats on this yesterday. We had wild amounts of downloads on our fitness podcast. I actually looked, I was like, Jesus Christ, I had some insane guests. We had like Brad Schoenfield on there, some other like insane people in the fitness industry. Like, I was interviewing these people in my shed in my garden, which is wild. And to give some context, the downloads on that, a lot of them were clients. And it helped a lot in terms of retaining the clients we had. It helped in terms of growing the business and create personal relationships. Because why? People buy from people. The second thing that I like about long form content is it's super high leverage. So once you've made the video, once you've made the podcast, guess what? Once you upload it, it's the lowest amount of views it will ever get. It will continue to get more and more and more. Do you know what happens when you make a reel? After 10 days, no one cares. Like literally no one. So for me, short form is a low-hanging fruit that can quickly monetize. Long form is like building the foundations of the bricks for your house. So that's something important to think about. The third superpower that is a system you need to implement to dominate in 2026 is really what we're known for. We've scaled to over $20 million using Facebook ads as a core component as part of that. And we spent around $1.7, $1.8 million on Facebook ads. Now, why paid advertising? If you look in order of what we've spoken about so far, number one is AI. We have the ability to analyze data at mass. Number two is I can create content at mass with AI. Number three is we can then push this stuff in front of people who then are the ideal client for us using proven data from our own businesses. So essentially we can buy leads, buy calls, pull these people through, and then you just have to have the right math to get the system to stack up, and hey presto, you're off to the races. And that is essentially the game of getting paid advertising to work. Now, paid advertising is getting easier and easier. Why? Because there's less complexity, in particular when it comes down to ad targeting. Because before you used to have really complicated targeting, you have to make lookalike audiences, interest targeting, all this type of stuff. Now, if your creative is good, all you actually pretty much do is upload, age, country, publish, and just fucking send it. And if it's good, it will perform. But that's where you have to have the right data you're putting on the top of it. And when it comes to making the ads and the creative, that it's at a high level enough so that it resonates, hits people's pain points, resonates with the individual, and then whatever you're putting to next in terms of a funnel, DM messaging sequence, Instagram, that next step is appropriate. And then you track that data correctly. One of the biggest things I see with most coaches, the reason why they suck at Facebook ads is actually two reasons. One is they try and delegate to a Facebook marketing agency. And guess what? If they were really good at running Facebook ads, they would just get this delightful can of Ghost Sour Patch Red Brew, which I have no sponsor for, but if you would like to sponsor me, I drink a huge amount of these. Not necessarily a Sour Patch one. They would just get these drinks, for example, and they would sell them on Facebook ads and make money, or bracelets, or whatever the thing is. Now, the reason that they don't do that is probably because they're not as good as they think. And if anyone is great at marketing, you would have to pay them a lot to run the marketing for you, like 20, 30K a month. Because if they're really, really good, guess what? They'll just run their own business, which is why I don't go and run anyone else's Facebook ads full time for anyone else, or run all of their marketing, because it's not worth the time. And we have some things we're kind of doing that now with like joint venture. But the thing you have to understand is that you delegating out to people who don't know what they're doing, don't really have an invested interest, and don't know the customer as well as you do. And then fourthly, it's not their credit card on file. It's kind of a recipe for disaster. And I see that happen over and over again. The second reason why people with Facebook ads just flop is they don't have the right mindset around money. If you are afraid and you are fearful of running Facebook ads and you're not willing to spend, guess what? It's not going to work. Now, you don't have to spend loads, but things can be relevant. We have coaches coming into our beginner program. They spend £10 a day. They maybe spend £300, £400, £500 a month. And they might make 5K back, which is great. But they understand for where they're at. Like, this is money I'm investing back into your business. But if you're investing things in the right process and you're playing the long game, it will always work. And that's where you also have to make sure the product you are selling is correct, and also having ascension models and retention models. And if I give a good example of that, there was a client, Huncho, who's from South or North Carolina. Shoot me if I'm wrong. Drop it in the comments if you listen to this. And I said one thing to him on a call last month. He's a client of ours, came in, he was maybe making 30, 40K a month. We got him to 70, 80K a month. I said one thing to him from a retention perspective. Boom, it made him an extra like 25K in that month. And then he went over to $100,000 a month. And that's how easy it is when you actually fix the right parts of businesses. The reason most people's businesses are stuck is because A, they don't understand this concept. You have two businesses. You have the business you have today, you have the business you have tomorrow. The reason you're stuck is, very simply, you're not actually thinking about the business you have tomorrow. You're still using tactics from 2020, which is why your business is stagnant, why your business is declining. And ultimately, if you do not fix that quickly, guess what's going to happen? you're going to be out of business, and you'll be those 50% of coaches, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, who can be out of business. Now, if you want help in terms of scaling your business, using all the methods we've used, we've helped over 21 coaches scale over $100,000 a month in the last 12 months alone. Drop me a message on Instagram, we can have a quick chat and see if you're a good fit to work with us, or you can hit link below the video, you can find out loads of stuff about how you can book a call. We've got a free ads course there and all that other stuff as well. And if you took value from this, I have one ask, so we make this for free, is please share this with another coach and subscribe. It would mean a lot to us, and we'll see you next episode coming up soon.